class, it's time for our read aloud. Today we are reading Pete the Cat and his 4 groovy buttons. The illustrator is James Dean, that means he drew the pictures, and the author is Eric Litwin, that means he wrote the words in the book. Have you ever read about Pete the Cat before? What do you think Pete's gonna do in this book? Looks like he's wearing a jacket with some buttons and he's on a skateboard. Let's find out what he's doing. Pete the Cat put on his favorite shirt with 4 big, colorful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. 3 buttons. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no, another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left now? Let's see. 1, 2 buttons. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no, what do you think happened? Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left now? 1. Did Pete cry? What do you think? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. Pop! Oh no, the last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. Did Pete cry? Goodness, no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button, and he kept singing his song. It's all good, my button, I still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness, no. We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. The end. Do you think Pete was sad when he lost his buttons? He might have been sad, but he didn't cry because he knew he had more buttons. And even when he lost all his buttons, he knew that everything was still gonna be okay.